Hello, my loves. Right, sorry if I sound a bit flat. I'm just coming out the other side of a stupid migraine attack, so I'm a little bit bleh. But we're going to do some extreme nails now. So I've prepped my nails. Everything's done. We're all ready to go, and I'm using my brand new TX Elite coffin tips. They come in bags of 600. Yes, I said 600, and they go up to a size 11, or well, down to a size 11 because 11's the smallest. So I'll just show you. I've got teeny tiny nails, right? And the size 11 fits my pinky beautifully. So I'm going to size them up and get them on. They're beautiful, these tips. So they're XXL, triple X, hence the name TX Elite. But they really taper in dramatically to give you that cool coffin look. So for those of you that didn't like cutting the sides of the TX Elite square tips to make them into coffin, I heard you. We've got the solution. Not everyone wants to mess about with the tips, and I totally understand that. So you can cut these down. They can be short coffins still, because obviously they taper quite dramatically from the free edge down. It just makes life a lot easier for people who don't want to faff about adjusting their tips. My thumbs are 5 in these because I've got diddy thumbs as well. So I'm going to get them all on as if by magic. There we are. Look at that. They are beautiful. Now they have a well, like a bit of a well on them, but you don't treat them any differently to any other tips. You don't have to add the whole well area to your nail. Just stick it on the end like you would a normal tip. It's not a problem. And I'm just going to put down a clear base. So they've all had a clear base, and I'm going in with this beautiful gold. It's a holographic gold from Mate, and I don't have the label on the bottom to tell me what name it is. I think it must have come off, but it's like a holo gold acrylic mix, and it's my favourite. You can see because I've used like over half of it. And we're just going to do an ombre with this. So yeah, if my application is a bit off, it's only because I was trialling a new type of brush and the bristles were different to what I'm used to. So I was like, it was weirded out by it. It just felt so different. You get comfy, don't you, with a brush? And then you try something out and it's like breaking in a new pair of shoes. So yeah, I'm just going to pat it, I'm going to tap it, I'm going to add little bits, and I'm going to feather it towards the free edge so that we can ombre over it in a minute. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the pinky finger. The thumb is just going to be a full nail of this gorgeous gold because I just couldn't get enough of it. So, nah. once that's all done, I'm going to encapsulate the thumb with clear. So this brush did pick up a big bead, but yeah, we'll work with that and just walk it down the nail. You've got to work a bit faster. If you're wanting to work with a bigger bead, you need to work a little bit faster because it's going to set up, isn't it? It's going to polymerize and set up. So if you're just taking your time and enjoying it, then work with more beads and then you don't need to rush. But if you're working with a big bead, you've got to walk that bead down the nail because the minute it starts to set, it's going to be a nightmare to file. Then for the ombre nails, we're using Toasted Rose from Mate. And yeah, we're just going to do our thing, an ombre. So I'm going to place my first bead down. I told you my application looked a little bit sloppy. I do actually change my brush out in a minute because I just had enough. I'll test a new brush and then I'll put it down, give it a good clean. Then I'll pick it up, test it, because you've got to make sure you get used to them. So yeah, gonna ombre it in, nice and easy. I must admit, I always sort of use Mate Acrylics pretty much 90% of the time because they blend nice and easily. They work well. I've got a link and I believe I've got an active discount code. So try it. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't work, I'll give you my friend's discount code because I know she's got one. And yeah, just building up that apex. Now it looks a bit weird at the moment because I've got the apex and then the product dips down because it ombres, but that's cool because that means we don't have to encapsulate the apex area. So from the side it looks really weird, but that's what you want. You only need to encapsulate the blend. So then I'm going to do exactly the same on the pinky finger. Just place the bead, tuck it in at the cuticle, tip to tuck, and then we'll blend that bead down. And you just keep adding product until you feel that you've got a nice blend.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again, but life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night like I'm leaving.
Right, so I've switched my brush out now back to my sort of trusty old one. It is knackered, but I'm just used to it. So I'm going to do this now. I think I used like 4 or 5 zones because it's a really long nail. And it's going to be a full nail of Toasted Rose. So the first thing I do is blend the bead back because you don't want to risk any shadowing. And then walk the remainder of the bead down the nail. And yeah, it works really well. With these tips, because they're nice and tapered, you're not going to risk getting a fat nail. Especially if you don't like pinching. Like with the square tips, they are wonderful. I adore them. I still pinch them because you don't want to risk it splaying out where they're quite flexible. But if you're really not comfortable pinching, then you might be better going for a more tapered tip like this. It might suit you more. Or there's pro stiletto tips that are on the website. Everyone's different with their preferences, so I'm fully aware that, you know, I need to try and cater for everyone's needs. That's the word. My brain is fried today. I do apologise. So I'm going to encapsulate the blend areas on the ombre nails quickly. Right, so as if by magic, as if by pure magic, we're all filed in. Bless you, Mr. B.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. We're working together. I'm not well enough to be jumping about the house, so we're working in the same room. Right, so we're going to do some crystal work and some beautiful work with this Lecente film. It's the gold film. I'm going to add their foil gel because it is super, super sticky. So although it's not a foil I'm working with, to be honest, it just works so well with anything like that you want to stick onto the nail. So I'll cure that for 120 seconds. And then while that's curing, after that's cured, sorry, God, my brain, I'm going to cut out a bit of the gold. And we're going to apply it across the nail. I've seen, do you know what? I've seen this done. Like, I've seen the end result many, many times. And I often wondered, how did they do that? And now I get it. I get it now, because that's how I did it. So, yes, we'll get some bits of it. Just long enough to kind of go diagonally across the nail. And then that cured gel is really, really sticky. So I'm just going to press the film onto it. Obviously, it's not a foil, so you don't press and release, you just stick it on. But it literally sticks like, you know, like when you're using clear plastic wrap, like cellophane, and it sticks to everything that you don't want it to stick to? Well, that's how sticky this gel is. it's super, super sticky. It just clings, look. So we'll cut off the edges. It's really nice. And then we're going to do some designing around this. So the whole theme of this set is like white and gold because it is the release of the new crystal mix Goldfinger, which I promised you was coming. It's here, they're live, along with the new coffin tips. And I wanted to do something really gold and bougie and like, yeah, I did these over 2 days actually, not whole days obviously, but they were quite a long set of nails. They took quite a long time. Look at that, that's so cute. Okay, so I'm going to use some of Madame Glam's gel paints. I'm going to use their gold and their white. And the plan here is to do some swirls around the gold film. So it kind of ties it all in to the gold and white theme. One thing I would suggest, which I did not do, and this is just learning as you go, I would probably matte top coat this area first before painting on it, because I found that my brush had a tendency to slide on the film and it made it a little bit difficult. So probably to make it easier, I would matte top coat, then paint. I just hadn't thought about that until I was in the middle of the process and I was like, oh, well, I'm here now. But yeah, that's probably, it would work a lot easier if you did it that way. So I'm just going to create some little swirlies. I'll let you watch this. So first of all, I'm going in with a matte top coat and top coating the entire nail. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the no wipe gloss top coat and go over anything that's gold. So the nail will be matte, the white will be matte, and the gold will pop and be super shiny. Once that's done, I'm going to get the thumbnail and we're just going to do a completely glossy, beautiful, shiny thumbnail just so I can look at that glitter acrylic all day long. Right, so I have picked out some of the crystals from the new mix. I'll show you the whole mix in a minute. There's so many in there. It's a smaller mix pack in quantity though, so it's more budget friendly and you get to try out 2 different types of gold and lots of different shapes. So, you know, it's a good size mix for what's in it. And I'm going to use builder gel to apply these. And the first thing I'm doing here is I'm going to do a crystal design that kind of starts as a cuff and that goes down the nail. And I'll work in sections. So I'll do a section and then I'll cure it. Then I'll add some more, then I'll cure it. But everything you see me using and a lot more is in the mix. I couldn't fit every single shape that's in there because there's a lot of shapes. So yeah, but like I said, I'll pour out the mix bag and show you in a minute. So I'll let you watch this bit. So, well, I'll let you know quickly. I'm combining like a champagne-y golden shadow colour with the metallic aurum gold, which looks like an old gold. You know, that really beautiful gold, not over yellowy. So the big shape you're seeing here, the diamond style shape, is the champagne-y golden shadow. And then you've got the metallic-y ones. So they're 2 different types of gold and they complement each other beautifully. And then I'm going to add the caviar beads, which are also available on the website. And I'm going to kind of go around the edge of the top of this design. They are like, you have to concentrate. They are fiddly, but they just look so bloody good. You've got to do it, haven't you? You've got to. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it right. So yes, painstakingly adding them, but they've got such a good effect, and the pack contains the silver, the rose gold and the gold, so you've got plenty in there to keep you going. So once that's all cured, I'm going to top coat the nail. So I can take the top coat around the round caviar beads. That's absolutely fine because they don't have facets. In fact, it will help them stay on. So flood them, feel free, but don't go over the crystals. You're better off just using a detailer brush, tuck it under the crystals, get that nice grip right in between them there where you could potentially catch pieces of hair. You want to fill those gaps with the top coat because that prevents anything from catching and lifting the crystals. And then just go down the other side and do exactly the same. And they should stick in place nicely. Whether you're using adhesive or gel to attach your crystals, I still use the same top coat method. So just keep working with that brush. When it comes to the tip of the nail, I'll just get the gel polish brush, and I'm just tucking a little bit in where there's gaps there, again where you could potentially get a piece of hair or something stuck. And then we'll just soften out that edge, make sure there's no lumps and bumps, nice and neat, and then pop it in the lamp. Then next up, oh look at that, let's just take a second to appreciate that bling. Oh, I feel like there should be a chorus of angels. Okay, next up we're going back to this nail, and I'm going to apply an SS12 in the lighter gold, the golden shadow, and I'm going to build some leaves around that using the Blizzard, is it Blizzard White from Mate? I think it is. So I'll let you watch me doing that.
Got me feeling like them leaves. Please hold me down, I need to rest. Your body talks to me, it takes control of me. You make me crazier than a lunatic. Liberate, liberate, don't forget me that way. It's a different taste. Liberate, liberation. We ain't got no time to waste. I'm just
Then I thought, well, it needs another element, so I grabbed some of the white Madame Glam gel, and I'm just doing some little sort of swirly strands. It just gives a bit more depth to the design, I think. Obviously, you know, you don't have to do that, but I just felt like it needed it. These gels are a 60-second cure because they're quite thick. And just pop that in, twizzle it around. I think it's a really cute way to complement the leaves, petals. They look more like leaves, don't they? They do look more like leaves. And then I used the tip of my brush to just do a couple of tiny dots. I tend to work in 3s or 5s. So yeah, there we go. So that's that done. And then on this nail, we're going to go full crazy. So I'm going to use an SS12 in the lighter gold. And then I'm going to go around it with the SS4s in the lighter gold. All the way around it. They're all included in the mix pack. And we're going to create the inside of a flower. So once they're all on, I'll cure those. And I make sure when I'm doing things like this, I rock my nail side to side under the lamp to make sure that it cures all the way around. And then I'm going to use the white acrylic and create some leaves and petals.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better. Is this what you want now? Or is it because you can't forget her? I can't keep pretending it's not getting to me. It's never ending. Can't give you what you need. You're misbehaving. Yeah, it's getting to me. It's never ending. You can give anything, so you can go, yeah. So I can focus. I just need to focus on myself. Yeah, you better go, so I can focus. I just need to focus on myself. This is what I want now, and yeah, I'm waiting for something better. This is what I want now. No, I won't settle for anything else. I can't keep pretending it's not getting to me. It's never ending. Can't give you what you need. Oh no, you're misbehaving.
So as I mentioned earlier, this is the pack itself, the Goldfinger mix. Goldfinger. I'm just going to cut the top off, like so. The whole reason why I made them resealable is just because some people don't want to store them in jars, so at least you can store them in the bags. They'll just slot into a folder or a case or whatever, nice and easily. And I'm just going to tip it out, and then I do drop some, which is really helpful, but you can see it's like there's so many different shapes in there. And I'm going to do a big crystal swirl right from the top around that flower and right the way down. And I'm going to use a combination of both the golds in all different sizes, round flat backs. We're just going to go for it.
a living man. Oh, but there is one thing you're all forgetting. That endless morning will turn to night. And when you're dreaming, you will be seeing a little demon dancing around. Baby, there is only one way, and that's to slow decay. Get a little earthy with me. I'll pull you down like rain. So tired, I can tell from your shape. Feeling sleepy, yeah, you can beat the slow decay. Saying life, it is confusing longer if you're choosing right. Read between the lines, it doesn't really matter. All that we possess is time. You know it's funny how you keep running away from slumber, although you can't. And when you're dreaming, you will be seeing a little demon dancing around. Baby, there is only one way, and that's to slow decay. Get a little earthy with me. I'll pull you down like rain. So tired, I can tell from your shape. Feeling sleepy, yeah, you can beat the slow decay.
And then I'm going to go around once they're all cured in place, and I went around the whole thing with the gold caviar beads, and I didn't film the whole thing because you would fall asleep, but it really does set the design off so beautifully.
Feeling sleepy, yeah, you can beat the slow decay.
So I'm going to top coat this now, and exactly the same, tucking it in right up and around those caviar beads, and then if there's any gaps in between the crystals, I'm going to just put a little dab of the top coat in there as well. Yes, this is the moment where I tried to show you a little, oh, and there we go. So in that mix, you've even got triangles that have a negative space in the middle. You've got different sizes of raindrops, you've got pear drops, you've got teardrops, you've got rhombus, stars, you've got loads and loads. There's a good picture on the website if you want to have a look. And I'm just going to do a little design here where I've used the bigger raindrop and then two smaller ones either side, and it's really cute. And then I'll pop that in the lamp. So the bigger one in the middle is the lighter gold, and then I'm going to use the aurum gold, which is like an old gold but metallic, either side. And I'll give them a wiggle. I guess that's a good thing about using gel, is you can kind of wiggle them into place and move them around before curing them. And it's just a really cute little effect there. And then once that's all top coated, I applied cuticle oil, and here's the final finished set. I really hope you've enjoyed this. Sorry for my monotone voice. Check out the new tips and crystal mix in the website, and I'll see you on my next video. Tally bye!